Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 70 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. Now, in the last episode, we continued building up the island of Rush, creating this sort of upper middle class district for all the workers who've now migrated over from the affluent Island of Swords. I guess they're bringing some of that wealth with them. Today we're going to be continuing building up the town and then also work on some of those shortfalls I've been noticing across our logistics network and in other places in the world. But before we jump into the episode proper, I'll be doing a little bit of extra building here in the city in between episodes, and I've got a pretty short but sweet time lapse for you. Let's begin. So the first thing I got to building was the police station. I decided to place it just at the back of the variety theater on the right across from the canal, so it's a little further out from the main center of the city. And then I just paved it with the bright harvest ornament for the concrete floor, just because it doesn't really blend with anything else. It's the same as the school, actually. It has this concrete base to it that doesn't fit with any ornament. At least it fits with roads, obviously, but not with any ornament. Anyway, I just paved the area around the school, threw in the city lights children's playground, the smaller variant, in and around the houses as well. I like to think, it's a little community playground for them. Looks good. And then just pretty much got straight to work on the cafe and restaurant area, which is very much a sort of a focal point of Rush, along with the church and the marketplace. That's why it's right across from it. Pretty happy with the dividing line I've gone for, that sort of modular pedestrian pack. Don't know what you'd want to call it, hedge row? It's not really a hedge, it's kind of just like an open green that's elevated and has certain trees in it and stuff like that. Looks really good. Now, it took me a while to kind of get this area right. I ended up cutting out all of the footage that I didn't, I'm not going to end up using, or all the mistakes I made, or trial and error experimentation. That's the word. All the experimentation's gone, and what I've ended up with is two of the restaurant buildings bordering each other because they blend their bottom really well together. And then at the back of them, it's like a combined seating area, right? I've kind of done this sort of thing before, but now with certain pedestrian pack ornaments, it looks really, really good. I think so anyway. I've got the overhanging lamps that kind of hang over different seating areas and different tables. I've got the two big pavilions where people can maybe take shelter if it's raining, or they can wait before they go into the park. There's going to be a park across, so they get drinks from the drink stand at the back. Maybe they don't go into the restaurants themselves and just chill. So I think that looks really, really nice. Here is where I'm actually going to be building the park. I had talked about this in the previous episode, that I wanted to kind of have some sort of a way where people can walk through the cherry blossom orchards, because I just think it would be a bit of a selling point of the town. You'd hear about this island, or not an island. You hear about the town where they have all these orchards, and you can go for a walk around. There's like cherry blossoms everywhere. And not that common. So I feel like it would be a selling point to the island. It seems to make sense that tourists might want to go for a walk around it. So having a nice sort of park to show it off is really cool. And then you can use the tourist pack's cherry blossom tree that has a grace bass. A grace bass, man, I'm losing my mind. A grass base that can kind of extend out, and that makes it look like the orchard is blending into the park a bit more, So it's like you're already walking in it before you actually come up against the actual orchard. God, I'm having a stroke. I think I'm just trying to speak too fast because these little time lapses have a bit of a time limit, don't they? But anyway, I'll focus the camera just after this time lapse on the area, so you'll get to see it in more detail. And I've let time pass since this, so you'll actually see a lot more. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. A nice little extension onto the side of Rush. Nothing too extreme, but building it out, reaching up to the mountains, adding that lovely restaurant district that I had in mind for our tourists, as well as obviously providing the local populace with a reduction in certain goods, but then also fulfilling that sort of pristine feeling that I'd kind of talked about in the previous episode, of saying I wanted people to be able to feel like they could go out to a park and walk around the lovely cherry blossom orchards. Very affluent and pristine looking area, which I'm quite happy about, because as I said at the beginning of the episode, actually, it's almost like by proximity to the Island of Swords, where we have the high life and skyscrapers and a very affluent, just rich estates. I feel like it's sort of like that's bled over into the other island. The workers have carried some of that affluence with them, if we wanted to build up a little bit of lore in our own head. Now, you may notice that we're suffering a loss of artisans, a loss of workers. There's lots to do in this episode, lots of little production gaps to fill in our logistics network. The first thing I thought I'd touch on just while we're having a look here is the cafe is producing donut foire, which is giving us a reduction in schnapps by 25%. And then the Anchor, or the restaurant, the Anchor, is producing fish and frites, giving us a reduction in bread, 35%. Now, the other things aren't going to be really of any importance because we don't have any artisans or engineers or anything else here. So it's just the workers and farmers. So we're basically getting a reduction in bread and schnapps. So that's basically all that's actually coming into effect. But it does, you know, beg the question, should we start dotting around a couple of artisans here? We're certainly in need of them. And the answer is possibly. Maybe in future. I don't want to do it just yet until we figure out a few other things. Now, I've been looking around at what the problems are, and I have a big note, kind of a notepad of things to get through in this episode. Like I said, if we have a room at the end, then we'll do some extra beauty building. But as you can see, we're short on a few things. Fur coats, sewing machines. Constantly fluctuating a little bit with them. Now, I think I fixed the fur coats in the previous... Yeah, so I might have done that actually between episodes. Sorry if I did. Basically just put down an extra factory. Nothing crazy. We had lots of the raw materials, so you may remember... When I built up the fur on Rush and did that trade union, we have loads of fur now. And then in... Well, I'll just show you. Why am I talking you through? I'll just show you. So basically here, I added in these two. This used to be greenery. We had a big greenery area here for some reason. But now that we have so much excess fur and wool is no problem, we have plenty of fur coats. So the fur coats problem should solve itself. That's just kind of a lingering... issue with transport routes, but that should solve itself. However, the sewing machines one is a problem, and I'll have to look into exactly how to improve that. Can't do it right now though. I've got other big fish to fry. Now the first thing I want to do is grab an idle ship. Anyone will do. Would be nice if we had an airship, but we'll just take you know what? Why not take the Caesar?
Steelsman.
And I'll just bring this up. Grab a... I'll just speed up time while it's going. Actually, I'm going to take this one. It's a fast ship. I need a fast ship. I'm going to take an item that I just researched, which is... Get Rich Volume 3. Pretty Polyculture. Now, this affects orchards, 25%. Workforce is increased 23%. But we get back coca every 3 cycles, tobacco and cocoa and coffee beans. So, I'm thinking of using that in the New World, although I may have just changed my mind right here at the beginning of the episode when I looked at some different things. So, I've just deleted the farms here because I was looking through this and then I realized something. I was like, oh my god. The original plan was to change out interspecies grafting, which provides us back some citrus, with the item I just showed you, so that we could get extra chocolate. Long story short, chocolate is just a little bit low. In the old world at the moment. All chocolate production is produced here in this sort of factory area, and we have plenty of workforce to cram out and max out some more chocolate. The problem is I'm low on coca. So coca is coming from our farms over here, and it's pretty much 1-to-1 with the chocolate. It's like 38 tons per minute is being consumed by the chocolate factories, and we're producing 38. So I'll just show you that in the statistics. It's going to have changed now because I did just cut the farms a little bit, but trust me, it was 38. If we just click Marbella. So yeah, it was 38 to 38. But then I noticed that the farms actually don't take any workers, and they're just being buffed like crazy from all the items in here. So I thought, oh, if it's not taking any workers, then I should obviously just slam in more of these and just produce extra coca for no workforce. And then we can use all of the obreros to just slam out more proper chocolate. So I actually just got to work on this and then realized that, because I was originally just going to add more and then saw what was happening here. But I basically just stopped the episode real quick because I was about to record it that way, and then I was like, wait, I've just figured out something way better. So this is a bit of a re-record in a way, but I didn't do anything really other than literally I just chopped off the sides of this because I was like, oh, I'm going to start building, and then I was like, wait a second. And that's why I realized. So that's why this is all removed, because I'm basically going to now start shifting things out and building more of these on the other side. I can't believe they don't take anyone. It's kind of insane. I mean, you could infinitely produce this then, right? I don't know, this seems a bit bad, but I didn't even know that was the thing. I'm sure maybe in the earlier episode I must have noticed it, and that's because there's no festival here or anything, right? No. Workforce needed negative 50%. Workforce needed negative 50% with tractors. So with tractors and a miraculous steel plow, I guess this doesn't take anything? Kind of crazy. I didn't really think you could get any buildings that do that regularly. So anyway, long story short, we're going to just start removing some of these modules and building out some extra farms. I might not go crazy. There's obviously a limit to the amount of Bright Harvest sort of buildings we can operate for our fuel station. I think you can have 20, right, for one fuel station. Now, we've got loads of oil. We could just have 2 fuel stations. It's really not a big deal, I guess.
The more the merrier.
But yeah, 20. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So still well within our right. Wait, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, there we go. All right, let's leave it at 19. We can add another one, but I'll probably... let's bring it to 20. Why not? Oh, we're out. We're out of steam car. Oh, no, we're not. We have steam carriages. What are we missing then? Steel beams. I should have brought some with me. Well, let's go grab some with one of these ships. The Viper.
On our way.
Got 2,400 down here at Lusk yet again. Anyway, this is all just to fix the chocolate problem, which in fairness is probably one of the least of our worries. And then we'll move on to something else. But like I said, I've got a big list of things to do. So let's grab construction material. Just bring it all to the new world, I guess. Why not? It's going to need it somewhere. Now, without getting too much off track, let's see, is there anything else I can do right now? Change the orchards to jam in Malahide. Oh, yeah. So, these are making resin. Currently, right now, resin is being overproduced by a lot, and I'm really short, actually, on jam. So, jam is there. Not really short, I guess, but a little bit. That is going to take a while. We'll get back to that. That's just another thing I have to do. Because I'll have to change the trade route for that one as well. Anyways. Just making sure I'm not cut up. This doesn't actually need a road, so that's good. It's like they didn't even notice. I was just getting rid of the cuts through there. So that's fine.
But where to?
And then we need lots of room at the back here for these to all be able to move their fields out. So that should be okay too. They're all within range, right? Are you within range? Yeah. Cool. That seems to work out just fine. That means that they need a road coming in here. I'll just do that. So that's the only one that actually thinks it needs workers, right? Yeah, 5. I'm confused. This one's on 0. But this one isn't. Oh, it's just because it hasn't had its fuel delivered yet. Okay, that's all good as well. Alright, and then we're going to just... I know it's a little tedious, but we got to do it. We got to build out the farms. So this one only has 8 modules. 205 out of 11, 211. So this one, let's just add extra there. Let's try to make it somewhat unified and even. There we go. Alright, this is the next one. So that can go like that, like this. Just work its way back out. And just keep it really on the top for a bit. Something like that. Okay. Alright, and then we'll start from the... I guess the top. Yeah, just start from the top like this. So just cover all that, cover all this, and then just do the same thing, sort of thing. Hopefully we've got the room for all these. I think we will. Alright, cool. This one, fill your little gap. It is a bit weird that this trade unit is just going to be in the middle, but it is connected to a building, so I at least feel like, yeah, well, people are able to walk in there, as we can see. So it's all good. So just even looking at this, it looks like these will have to come out, because if that wants to get out, this wants to get out, these might have to come out just a teeny bit further. For whatever way I've done it, so we'll just keep going. And these aren't going to get the effect, are they? Of I guess should I have tried to get even more in there? Because this is just all crop farms. This affects coffee, cotton plantations, and everything. Oh man. I feel like this needs a massive redevelopment. You know what, guys? I think what I'm going to do is just time-lapse it, because this will take ages. And you get the idea. I think I'll time-lapse it, and that way I can really feed in as many around this as I can really make, and try to have it make sense. Because otherwise it's just a bit too trial and error-y. But I'll leave in what I've done, but I'll time-lapse the rest. Alright, let's go. Alright, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That took quite a long time. It took about 30 to 40 minutes, so I saved you quite a lot of time. Now, it's not the most efficient way of doing things, I'll admit. But you can't argue with the results. You know, I've actually increased productivity from 38 tons per minute now to 68 tons per minute. However, we are getting a little bit of a backup at some of the warehouses here. Too many transports is kind of flickering on and off. They're not really using the ones that are furthest away. I think that's kind of the issue. I'm fine with it. It's more than we need, and everything's running pretty well. And I actually freed up some workforce doing it. I didn't add any extra houses, yet we freed up about 40 workers there. So pretty happy about that. Now, over here at the trade union, actually, we freed up even more than that, because I ended up putting in the Get Rich Quick Volume 3, which is increasing the workforce needed now by 23%. The one I had in there before was increasing it by 17%, so I've increased it by a further 6%. So not that much. This was also producing citrus every 4 cycles, but we were getting a productivity of 5 boost. The one I've got in place now gives us a productivity of 25% boost. So that extra 20% boost on all of these citrus farms sort of makes up the difference that we were getting the citrus from anyway, if that kind of makes sense. But now we're getting the excess of coca, tobacco, and coffee beans. So I think overall it's worked out better, right? We have more workforce at our disposal. We are producing citrus actually a little bit more than we were before, just slightly. Basically, let's just call it the same. And now we're also producing an excess of coca, tobacco, and should we need it, coffee beans at some point. And our coffee is now vastly improved. Or sorry, our coca is now vastly improved, and none of this takes any workforce. We're also really improved the amount of cotton we're producing now. I didn't actually check the stats on that before. It might be kind of interesting to go back. I think it was pretty even from what I remember. It might have even been slightly less than we needed. But either way now, globally, we're producing about 10 to 12 more than we need. Although some of them are offline because I think they're just maxing out. Is it because they're maxing out over here? I'm not too sure, to be honest, but there's some of them are going offline. I guess let's find out. Let's find out why this is. So, 48, but it's stopping production quite regularly. So production, where are you stopping, eh? Marbella, Puerto Banús, Marbella. So these are the only... Oh, we're getting excess from sugarcane. Through some items. That could be it as well. So I suppose if sugarcane fills up, maybe this stops for a bit. Also, I didn't notice that before. What the hell? We haven't filled up all the modules of these things. 268, 268, 256, and 256. Oh, that's a nightmare. And I've got some room here though. Gotta optimize. Let's get rid of this then. Although I do love it, but I'll have to see you later. So that one doesn't have a way out. What about this though? How far along could that go? It could go the whole way across, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, it could go continue out there. Wait, oh no, it can't. There's a gap. Oh well. Well, we could add that little bit extra in. Could I feed this all the way out? This other one? Is that possible? It's not worth the effort right now. So what I'll do is I'll just cheat and be like, yeah, there you go. Right, so we are making, I mean, unfortunately destroying the beauty of the island, but it has to be done if we want to meet the goddamn demands of these sky rises. So that's that. But we did all this in order to actually be able to make more chocolate factories, which we can do now. So what I was going to do here is to get them all within the same thing, trade union, we have to move out or move back the warehouses. So to move back here. Maybe we could feed a road in that way. Something like that, I don't know. In fact, we need even more, to be honest, because these things are just so in demand. Alright, just this actually works. There you go. Now, chocolate factory. Can we just slam them in there? Another one in there. Would another one fit? No. But you could do them sideways. Is it 4 or 5? Oh, it's 5. And then there is just a bit too far. Oh, you're killing me. Because I'd like to get 2 of them in. So we can get one there. All we need to do is just cut that bit of the road. But that just means then, of course, those warehouses can't be reached. How could we finagle this to work, eh? We could have a road that goes around the back of them. So if a road went around the back and came down there, then these will actually supply at least here. That works.
There must be input for out.
They're both in now. So, sugar, coca, away we go.
My therapist says money matters dominate middle age.
Give me that back. You cheat. Alright, there we go. I might make this, try and make it look a little bit nicer later.
First.
We're lacking bananas. Bee-nanners. Really? I'll just write that one down. That's a problem for another day, I think. Bananas on Marbella. Alright, cool. So, are we gonna need more sugar? Let's see. No, we produced enough sugar actually that we're exporting it. Sugarcane is now pretty good. over the consumption, so we produce excess sugarcane as well. What else is used in here? So sugar and cocoa. So we've got enough, even with these 2 extra factories. Got enough. And we've managed to fit them in here too. So what extra effects do we get? We get the productivity, a decreased chance of fire, which is good. Producing extra sugar and extra rum. Oh, right, so we don't even... Yeah, man, that's really good, isn't it? Cool. Well, we'll leave that there. I think I'll have to come back and try to make this look a little bit nicer. We could definitely do it at some point. But at least it's working, you know? Alright, cool. So, we got some problems. Back in our home of Rush, there is not enough fish. Plain and simple. If we look at the consumption rates just here on Rush, we're just slightly over. Just throw down 2 of these to plan for any future expansions. Again, we'll clean that up in the future, but I just want to tackle some of these problems now, so that's fine for the fish. We were talking about, before the time-lapse, I think, right? That over at Malahide, we're producing loads of resin. These can probably change now to jam. So let's do that. This means that the route will have to change. Alright. Kind of ruins the aesthetic a little bit, because I like these colored trees here, whereas now it's going to be sort of like nice little orchards. I suppose if I really wanted to, what you could do is keep it as resin and then... Well, no, not really, actually, yeah. Anyway, we've got so much resin here, and we have a ship that goes around and just collects it, but it still fills up before the ship can even get here. Because the ship is going to Malahide, which are going to take that route off now. So from Rush to Lusk, yeah, so you can go say bye-bye to that part. So now it's just going between the 2 islands. It's just picking up as much resin as it can and unloading it. But we're full up everywhere. We're not consuming it that much. Good problem to have. So the other one is jam. So let's check the jam route. Jam in the old world. We are picking up as much as we can at Rush, dropping it at Lusk, and then we're taking back some fur coats because they're needed. They're needed for the hotels, actually. That's why they're going there. Looks like we're really low on that, though. Maybe we're taking way too much. It looks like we are. But now I'm going to slow it down anyway, slow this general route down, because I'm going to go to Malahide and pick up as much jam as we can there and move it. Alright. So we're going to make 2 routes with this ship. Yeah, throwing it overboard's not a good idea. For the fur coats, because we're obviously just picking it up and dumping it. I'll have to set a big reserve, I think, to make this even out. And yeah, that'll probably work. There's probably no reserve. Alright. Will that work though? Because then it'll be split between... Alright, look, I'll just simplify things. Let's just get rid of this. Right, so it's just doing it's doing what the resin route did before. It's picking up as much jam as it can, dropping it at Lusk, picking up jam, dropping it back. So it's making 2 little trips. You could do it, I guess, at 1 collection. Would that be better? I thought maybe not because of the amount of that we'll be producing, but it seems like it's quite slow to produce. You could probably pick up I don't think we're making more than 300, so I guess actually that's and that'll speed up the loading and unloading times, right? So now we're just doing a pretty regular jam route. I just might as well call this jam collection. So let's just accept that. I'll just go back in really quickly and throw that overboard. It's a collection jam. I think I've got a few routes that I've named collection now. Yeah. And then I put this in all caps. So it's basically a collection route for me anyway. It's just a ship that hits multiple islands within 1 session. It's a collection. And then just drops it off at wherever it's going. So that's fine. There's another thing that people pointed out to me, and I thought I actually fixed it, which is why I never addressed it. I thought I fixed it, which is that the Agri route in the New World, this ship has tobacco on it, so it's never picking up the camphor wax. People did mention it. I spotted it in the comments. I thought I fixed it. We'll just throw that overboard now. It should be fine in future. We'll just give it a manual load here. Now it's back to where it should be. Alright, so that's that done. I have a construction route ship. This is the next thing I've written down. A construction route ship should be picking up bricks at Malahide, not dropping them off, I think. Yeah, because it's full, and we produced bricks there. So that should just, that's a small thing, but I just noticed that that should be done. I think that might be everything I needed to do, at least in the immediacy. We're obviously low on sewing machines, and I was kind of low on coffee, so there's a few things I was thinking of changing. Back in swords. Is this swords? Yes. Here we are. I thought the iron schlong
is worth millions.
we could go with something else now, because coffee, champagne, and canned food were actually kind of okay for those things, I think. Lady Marmalade looked a lot better. So Lady Marmalade requires champagne, rum, citrus, and jam, which now we have produced quite a lot of, right? So we've got thousands on the island, a couple hundred, thousands and thousands. So maybe citrus might be the thing we look at here, but this will reduce chocolate consumption even further, and coffee and bread. Bread, I guess, is not a big deal. This one might actually be the best for me, which is, but it requires gas from the Arctic. Now let me have a look at my gas route and just see globally, sorry, not the route itself, but just see, are we overproducing it, or is it just consumed? Oh no, we're actually over-consuming it. Only very slightly though, which is a weird, I don't know why I've let that happen, but I guess that just means that, it must mean that in Cape Trelawney, where there's a power plant, it probably goes off every now and then. They have little brownouts, as we've learned. Because yeah, these are all still up and running, so that's fine. And these are all still up and running. So that's as much as I can produce. Unless we got a trade union to buff it, I suppose. That would work, I suppose. What is it called here? It's called an Arctic Lodge. So I have one. Oh, it's already doing it. Yeah, it's already doing it. So I'm actually doing it with both. So that one and that one. Oh, okay. Not much more I could do then, other than build more. I'll leave it. Well, that just means that I'm not really capable at the moment of sustaining that. But Lady Marmalade, I think, is a little bit better then, so we'll go with that one.
Jemima and sample this new dish.
Yeah, fetch Jemima. Let's see. Agriculture. Scroll down. Citrus, 36 to 36. Slightly overproducing, but not everything is operational. Guadalmina is shut down for some reason, because it's just full. Are you kidding me? So this is where maybe the agri route is no longer really that good anymore. Although maybe it'll fix itself now that I've fixed one of the ships a bit. Because the place is filling up before we get to it. It's quite interesting. Maybe we'll just add another ship to it. Seems to be my way of solving these problems. Because that means that there's 200 moving on the ships. So surely it shouldn't hit capacity. You know? Like how you're telling me that it makes 50. No, it makes 150 before another ship even gets there. It seems a bit mad. But that's allegedly what's happening. Now I'm putting that up to 200. So it should not be able to produce 200 before a ship comes to visit. Now I understand that loading and unloading times are probably the thing that's slowing everything down the most. Because there's no items on these ships. So loading and unloading 300 or whatever is quite a lot. And this is actually full. Hang on a sec. Oh no, that makes sense. Oh, that might be the problem. Is that this island here, Marbella, is producing more, filling up every ship every time. So how many per minute does Marbella make? 20. Well, still, with 3 ships visiting regularly, I wouldn't have thought that would happen. I'll just leave it. I think logically in my head it makes sense that having more ships on this route, constantly taking stuff away, should be fine. I think if I deliver the goods to speed up loading and unloading, that would help. Let's just send this to High Clarence Hall. Go meet with your boy Archibald. See if we can get anything there. And I'll just see if there's any items here just right off the bat. Now there's that item that I actually just researched. For loading and unloading. I won't spend too long. I'll just have a quick look around, see like is there anything here, and if there isn't, then we'll just have a look in the Archibald, and then maybe just go for the Research Institute if we can't find anything specific. It's usually a character item. That's why I'm just looking at the characters. I would assume these are repair items and stuff. I noticed she has a lot of the orchard stuff now. It seems to always appear. Productivity. Nope, nope. No, not that I'm seeing. Alright, so what else is there to do? Apparently cognac billiard tables are sometimes struggling. Now I never checked the statistics for it. It might have just been a production error because of the low amount of artisans that we're having. So yeah, let's obviously the one that's a big problem is sewing machines. Let's have a look. Globally, we're just underproducing sewing machines by about 2 tons. Now, I think down, oh my god, it's on fire. That was very high-pitched. This actually doesn't even have a road attached to it. What the hell's going on with that? Well, anyway. So these are the sewing machine buildings. We have a trade union here. We've got room for another one to be added in there. We just need 150 artisans. Let's just add it in and see, can we get rid of... Or can we free up those artisans to do something? 17 cognac. How much cognac do we have in this island?
Like a king in one's castle.
Yeah, very low on cognac, very low on billiard tables. Totally fine for toys. It's definitely problems that need to be solved that we're not solving. And this is doing its thing. And it shouldn't ever shut down. Lots of sugar, lots of cherry wood, lots of grapes. So that's fine. What about the billiard tables? Fine, fine, and fine. So it must be that you need multiple. I can't believe it. I never thought we'd actually hit it. Yeah, look at that. We produce 3 tons per minute. We consume 4 of both of them. Whereas the toys is like almost the opposite. No one's playing with toys. That's why I said it's such a shame that these multi-factories don't have a switcher built into them. It just seems to make sense to me. It's like, if you've got a building, if you're going to sell me on a building that can make different things, wouldn't it be nice to say, throttle this so that it makes... Right now it's making 3 tons per minute. Throttle it so that it makes 1 ton per minute. And then switch. So you can make 2 tons per minute of this. And then switch back. So every third good, switch, you know? Just automatically. That'd be awesome. It'd be such a useful building. Actually, I like the idea of that for... Like, these high-level industrial buildings. I was going to say, like, future Anno games. I don't know, depending on the era, if this would really make sense. But the idea that, like, yes, this is an assembly line. We can make different things. We don't just make the one thing. I don't know. Seems to make sense to me, anyway. Got extra biscuits coming out. 2 of those places now. This needs to be made look nicer as well. Jeez. Getting very lazy with my beauty... Well, I say I'm getting lazy with my beauty building. We do keep spending lots of time building this place, so I guess not. In certain areas, maybe. Alright. Ruins over there. No other ruins anywhere else. That's not bad. So, sewing machines. Those sewing machines should be fixed then. It's just... We're just low on artisans. So what I might do then is just upgrade some of these. I might move them back over to swords, though. And just keep them over there, because at least they're being supplied, and I can work out the supply issues later. So, bit weird. And there's no room up here anymore. Although I'm going to be getting rid of the... actually, I might do that this episode. Yeah, I think I've got time. It's time to say goodbye to our lovely grape facility here, our vineyards. And this can probably go. Don't think we need it anymore. So see you later. See you later, see you later, see you later. It has served us well, but no longer is it needed. This is all prime real estate for the future expansion of the Skyline Tower and all of that stuff. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, so now it makes sense to just move those houses over here. Can we move them from islands? Is that possible? Oh no. I guess I should have thought of that. Well, I'll just have to get rid of them then, won't I? Sorry. I'll just build houses and let them upgrade naturally, I guess, over here. Used to do that anyway. There you go, you're back. You're back and loving it. So we'll let time speed up and we'll just get more artisans and we'll just pop them up here as a temporary measure. They should have everything they need then. At least they're close to a university, not too far from a church, etc. I'll just lay out the road actually for them. So it's just going to be a little grid for now. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So somewhere like that. Right, our first little estate for them. Just for the extra houses that we're going to get. And that should fix our workforce, and that should mean that now sewing machines are okay once this gets back up and running. Now, what else are we producing as a byproduct? So we're reducing the workforce. We're getting extra pocket watches, extra gramophones all the time. Love to see it. And productivity boosts and all of that. Iron should be okay, and I imagine wood as well. Now, something I actually just realized and I forgot about. I say I freed up the workforce here, but maybe I didn't. I deleted timber. And that's now not producing enough for all the different rum that we're trying to make. So that will be a problem. That's going to run out. So I guess I didn't actually fix anything. Or fix the exact amounts there. And it only takes 10. I deleted 2 of them. So I guess I freed up a tiny amount of workers. I'll just get those 3 back in. Alright, there we go. So that should fix it once they grow. We won't see that for a while. Now, bananas was an issue as well. Let's just check that really quickly. All islands, raw materials, or agricultural products. But yeah, bananas are short. Again, bit temporary, but I'm just going to pop one in here somewhere. It's hard to see in there. That might not be enough, but it should be better. Yeah, because I'm going to have to fix that. I think we'll use Bright Harvest again. Because we got room here for extra things. There's actually even a bit of room there. So we could have bananas here, and that's all close by the fuel station. Now, the fuel station, I think, is supplying more than 20. So maybe I'll just build another one right behind it and have the railway just feed straight through. Because you could do that. And that way, we'll be fine. Because I've also reactivated this. So now we're producing oil there. And we're producing oil over here. So almost every oil field. I think 15 of them are being activated right now. Pretty large amount. Look, I'm saying why do that? I'll just do that now. Why would I do it later? Just do it now. We've got the time to do it now. Let's do it. I've no concept of time anymore in this episode, so I hope I don't end up ending really short or going really, really long. It's just because of that time lapse that's kind of thrown me off now. So let's get one of these.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
I'm gonna get rid of this. Hopefully that's not too bad. Build another one of these. It looks like it just connects. Would that work? Oh my god, it looks like it does. Let's see if it gets filled. Very curious if it does. That'd be kind of cool. So that just unfortunately does not quite fit there.
The land has to be
Right, how much does it need? 128. So that's as much as I can get. 82. Yeah, it's a damn shame. It doesn't look like it's going to fit there. But obviously we could just build it somewhere over here and it'll be fine. So just pop one there. Don't know. Another one just a bit further down to kind of look a bit nicer. And another one on the other side. Now each of these can have their own Right, harvest tractors. I'm okay with that. Let's get rid of this. These can go.
We're in the presence of a virtuoso.
$192, wow. Okay, is that it? 192, 189, sorry.
There's nowhere to take it.
God damn. This really is a farm episode, a farming module episode. It looks like this is actually taking up more than I even thought. So I don't know if we'll actually fit this around the corner. I might have to change the road. Oh, it goes like that. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. Okay. And then this one. All these lovely forests just been chopped down for this as well. That's sad. Now that I've freed up that, we can have extra things here. Boom. And just to make it look a bit nicer, just fill this in. Alright, there we go. So that should be plantains, bananas out of our mines. Yep, that fixed that problem. Good. And we still have Yornaleros left to work with. How's the timber now? Not quite enough. Let's use another one then, just over here. Now, what I'll probably do in future is get a docklands that just makes timber and have a ship that delivers it everywhere, because these just take up far too much space. Alright, so, whew, crazy. Lots of stuff done. Let me just go through my list really quickly here. Let's hide some of the UI and make the place look gorgeous. There we go. There's our island as it stands. So, sewing machines fixed, chocolate fixed, cognac and billiard tables, not right now, but we're working on it. For the artisans. We just need more artisans. We have the materials, we just don't have the workforce. Taking tobacco off the ivory supply ship, that's done. Picking up bricks, done. Lady Marmalade for the Iron Tower. Fish in rush. The get rich quick thing. Changing the orchards to jam. Yep, that's it. That's my list. I think I've done it all. That took so much longer than I expected. I never planned on doing that. It wasn't in my list. I just realized we could do it when I noticed that the workforce was 0. I mean, this doesn't even make any sense. It's like people just... I don't even know how you... Like, what's the logic, you know? It's just 100% automated. There shouldn't be people there at all. We're not even at the stage in 21st century, let alone the 19th. Alright, let's go back to this place, just see how everything's going. Iron should be fine with the amount we're bringing in through docklands, although we'll consume a little bit more, but we've got more than enough gold to make up for it. And let's see if we can do those upgrades now on these guys. Alright, so they're workers. I think they've got everything they need, even still on the island. It's not none of that new stuff's coming in though, sausages like, but it should be, unless these guys consume that. Oh, they do. Oh, then they have it. They have everything.
Flat the flag of freedom.
There's no one that isn't looking up to me now. Except birds, perhaps.
We're free to... Except birds, perhaps. And we also got rid of a town hall, or a trade union. Now, oh yeah, that's the other thing I need to do, is add more grape farms, because we just got rid of some. So, someone actually mentioned in the comments, they were like, oh, I like seeing you build these nice islands and everything, and I'm hoping you do Scaries at one point. We actually already did Scaries. Scaries is a tiny island, but I did do a time-lapse on building it up. It's got quite a nice port, if I do say so myself.
My humble duty.
But now we need to add even more vineyards. So I'm just going to add them down here. It's kind of where I said I'd eventually add them anyway if we needed them, so it makes sense. I got to see how much we need. All islands, grapes. So we need 6 or 7, I guess. Which probably means about 2 of these, I think, with,
brings you in,
again,
Master?
Bright Harvest.
Better to
If I just keep them back like that, it's totally fine. Something like that, I guess. Right, let's just give them what they need. Are you kidding me? That can't be right. 16 out of 17. It only gave me 2 extra. How long does it take to process? 40 seconds. That kind of makes sense then, yeah. Okay. We've got the workforce for it as well, which is good.
Once we're done here, we come back sometimes.
It's a shame about that. I don't know what I can do about that, really. Except maybe put some trees in between. Or you could change it where the line comes out and just goes parallel to the road, I guess. Suppose that makes sense. Yeah, I suppose we'll do that. Oh, we don't have enough steel. Okay, we'll have to do that in future. Alright, how's that for productivity? Grapes, where are you? There you are, 21 to 21, so you might need even just one more. And now what are you short on? Steel. Steel, steel, steel. Alright, this will be the last thing I do this episode. I think is just grab some steel. Might as well grab it from... Don't need that much. Just get 50. Do you have any of those loading and unloading items, Archie? Oh, he'll... Oh, sorry, yeah, he'll... Eli Bleakworth is probably a bit better to have those. Movement speed 10%. Let's take it. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Ah... The amount of times I do that kind of thing against... Hey, there it is. It's frustrating beyond belief.
Initiative. Excellent.
Alright, let's go. We'll get that delivered. Alright, so while that's on its way, we'll speed up time, we'll let it do its thing, and we'll just have a little zoom in on Rush, and have a look at our lovely little curious portside town. Actually, one thing I do need to do with these guys is move some more orchards over. I think here is a good spot for one. Maybe we can move it a bit further in, actually.
A fire broke out.
Pending road layouts, of course. Does it mind me encroaching a little bit? Not really. Something like that, and then this can come out here.
Peddlers say there's nowhere to take it.
Gonna have to fix those roads big time, but it's kind of nice. There's gonna be like a big wall of cherry blossoms there. And we can always add in our own to fill it out as well, like I did here. Just notice that little patch. Alright, cool. Nice. Yeah, it looks good. Actually, it fills it in quite well. No more shortages. Everyone's pretty happy. How are the hotels? So they're unhappy that they don't have a zoo, which is funny because I was going to build a zoo here originally. So maybe if we get the influence I can do it, it's just that I don't really have the influence. You don't get 10 free modules on every island, do you? Oh. You do. Oh, I do, because... Oh, I remember now. Oh, I remember. Because we get all the modules for free on swords, which means that the first 4 we build on somewhere else are free. This is a botanical garden, actually. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Let's try the zoo.
Left ruins behind.
I mean, that made sense in my head, what I just said, so... Oh, I can't build it now. I've broken the glass. Let's just drop off that steel. Let's get this built. No warehouse. Warehouses there might be cool as well. Yeah, so I might just redo that. I might do that on my own time. It won't take too long. What the hell happened here? We should have more than enough now. 23 it says. Did that just catch fire just now? Or something? So I didn't... Did it? Oh yeah. It literally just happened just now. Just totally missed that for some reason. Good to know though, because yeah, maybe we need fire stations then. Might be another good spot for it, if we can make some room. You could do it here, but I love the little mini apple orchard we have. Alright, that's going to be it, guys. I hope this episode's been long enough. On my count, it says nearly 2 hours, so hopefully with the time lapses and everything, it makes sense. Don't want to do you guys dirty, but pretty happy with how Rush is coming along. We've got our lovely little village here. We have our other lovely little village up here. We've got obviously all the fur cabin stuff. We're optimizing the crap out of the game. It's a necessity at this point to really make things work. Excuse me. Everything on the right side of the canal has been done. This needs some little bits of ornaments here and there, but generally speaking, looking good, I think. Very happy with the restaurant district. Hope people like it too. And the little sort of park that we have that leads into the vineyard, or the orchards, not vineyards, orchards. Also a big fan of the dividing line of kind of set up between this area. I was trying to work in if there's any places that build underground tunnels and stuff, but because I was thinking like, oh, you could have something like this, and then it would make sense to have a sort of a tunnel that leads under, you know. But I kind of feel like the town's not big enough to warrant having one of those underpasses. Like I'm sure with the skyscrapers we'll build some in and around big districts there. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video has been copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that will give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.